Okay, I'm here. Yeah. I don't see you yet.
Don't see you yet? Oh, believe me. Hello? You
Hi.
can listen to me? You listen to me?
I can hear you, yeah. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. This is a very cold day. So if you listen to me speaking like, it's because it's very cold here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How are you doing, Laura?
I'm good. Surprisingly, in spite of everything, the world falling apart around us.
Exactly. Where are you? In what city?
Near Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. I just was in Atlanta one time when I come from South America. I take a travel to Atlanta to come to New York, so I don't know anything about your city. So tell me, what is your favorite thing from Atlanta?
The food. It's traditional Southern food. Is really good. The weather's nice.
Okay. That is very important. You are here in the United States, you are American.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You born here? You born here in the United States?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, nice. I asked because, I followed you for so many years time ago. I don't know if years, but I think that around 2 or 3 years was when I found your page for first time. I know that you are a very friendly person, you are a very kind person, and you are very supportive with the people. I know that because we don't speak too much before in the time. I think that it's the first time that we speak. But you always are very supportive. You always are looking for people. You are always giving likes and sharing the posts of the people. And that is pretty nice from you. So I have a very good image about you, a very good picture in my mind about you. Your page is all about, correct me if I say something wrong, it's all about Minoan mythology or Minoic mythology.
Yeah.
That is your style, and I like it. Why? I like it because it's a lot of things in tendency now. It's a lot of things that is very popular now, and it's something magical fashion now. But you have a focus very centered in your thing, and you see that all of this stuff is moving around, but you continue in your path, and I really like that because you have a very defined path, a very nice way. Why do you like so much this kind of mythology in special?
Because it has the same values that I do, and I think it's very relevant for the kinds of issues that we're facing in modern culture. Because so many different kinds of mythologies reinforce kinds of things that we might not necessarily, that don't necessarily meet with our modern values, like the equality of women and acceptance of people outside the gender binary and things like that. Yeah. That's not why I was originally drawn to the Minoan stuff. I've been fascinated by the Minoan since I was a teenager, just from the art, because it's beautiful. Yeah. But learning more about them, their culture and their religion emphasized equality between men and women, emphasized sharing. They had what's called a sharing economy, where the temples gave out food to people to make sure that everyone was fed. Exactly. It seems to me that it was a society and a religion that embraced compassion very strongly, and that really appeals to me.
It's very nice. So I have a list in my mind. For the people who don't know you, let me define this. Who is Laura? So Laura is an artist. I know that you paint, and you have a lot of very beautiful paintings in your pages. That actually, I think that you also sell your paintings, correct?
I have some of them, yeah, I have a Redbubble site that has some of my art.
So you are a very wonderful painter, very well known in the community for this. Also, you have books because you are an author, but you don't have one or two. You have a lot of books, and I like because you have so many books about so many different things but from the same perspective and very well defined in the line about your work. You have books, you have novels about paranormal stuff, very young history, something like that. And also you have a book for paint in home, correct?
A coloring book, yes.
Coloring book, that is the word. Thank you. Also, for the people who don't know you, you have your own tarot deck, the Minoan tarot deck, correct?
Yes.
And it's very nice because when you see the card, this look, when you see it, it's like, okay, I know this, but I don't know from where. But when you start to use your mind, when you start to think in your past, maybe you remember that we see all of these pictures, similar pictures in history when we have in the high school. And they are pretty similar in the structure of the art, and it's pretty nice. I really like your tarot deck. It's very nice because it's so artistic, but trying to keep the things simple in a very good way. Like, okay, this is the art, this is the structure, this is the answer that you are looking for. So you don't have a lot of so many things in the same card that can be confusing sometimes. Your cards are really beautiful. I really like them.
Oh, thank you. I when I was making the deck, I tried to figure out because tarot is not as old as the Minoans. It doesn't go back that far. I was trying to figure out how a Minoan artist might have expressed the ideas that are in tarot cards in the art of their culture. So that's why it looks like that. I mean, they look like they look like Minoan frescoes for a reason.
Yeah, they are very nice. The art is very nice.
Thank you.
Also, you have your own group. I think that you have the structure of a group in Facebook with actual people. Sorry if I say this wrong. The Ariadna tribe or the Ariadna tribe.
Ariadne, yeah.
Okay, it's a group that looks exclusive from outside because it's very low, but also is very open mind about the people who is in there. Correct?
Yes. We consider ourselves to be a welcoming community.
Okay.
The Facebook group is set to private just so that people can discuss their spirituality without feeling like someone might be watching them. That it gives a certain amount of security and safety to the members. But yeah, it's the official forum for Modern Minoan Paganism. We have a website that'll be up in a couple weeks. But
that is pretty nice.
Yeah, but right now all we have is the Facebook group.
Okay. Also, you have alert of a spoiler because I'm very in your thing, in your page, in your book. I really like your style. So I need to say this. I noticed that you have a new edition about your book for this June 2020, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about your book.
Okay, so this is Labrys and Horns.
Okay.
The Labrys and the sacred horns are two of the main symbols in Minoan spirituality. And the book, the first edition, I wrote it at the request of the members of the group Ariadne's tribe, because modern Minoan paganism is a fairly new spiritual tradition, and it's one that we have created together as a group. We've kind of developed it out of our own need for being able to practice the Minoan spirituality. And so I wrote first edition of the book just to collect up all of the stuff that we had come up with at that point so that there would be a single resource for people to go to. to practice modern Minoan paganism.
Okay.
But in the 4 years since that book was published, we've done a lot. We've added a bunch more gods and goddesses to our pantheon. We've developed a standard ritual format. So there's a lot more information, and so it was time for a new edition, and I'm working on that right now. I finished all the illustrations, and I'm on what I hope is the final edit.
Okay.
And then it will have a new cover, and yes, it should be out by summer solstice.
Perfect. Laura, I have a question here. Probably you can see in your screen. Is your practice a tradition of witchcraft?
I don't think it really qualifies as witchcraft. Craft is usually magic based. We consider ourselves pagan.
Okay.
The Minoans lived during the Bronze Age, around 2000 to 1500 BCE. So that's 3,500 to 4,000 years ago.
Okay.
Magic was part of their worldview. I mean, everyone in that time had magic as part of their worldview. But our tradition is more sort of relationship with the gods and goddesses kind of thing. Magic can be a part of it, but it's not a requirement.
I understand. I perfectly understand, and I like. Thanks for answering that. Also, for the people who don't know my friend Laura, you are a blogger, and I like this a lot. Why? Because I have 3 favorite blogs in my computer that I read every week: The Wild Hunt, Witches and Pagans, and paganpage.org. And you write for witchesandpagans.com. You have a lot of articles. They are very deep. They are very wide. They are very well structured. And they are so informative because in paganism, always is the people, I know I don't want to generalize, but always you see similar articles speaking about the same things, about the same gods, about the same celebrations again and again and again. But you have your special space, like your little pagan corner in there, where you write about the Minoan mythology, and you write a lot in there. You have a lot of very beautiful posts because you write very nice. You use very, very nice words in there. And you write, I remember this article about the goddess Rhea, yeah? I really like it because it's not too much information about her outside. You can find information, but you need to look a lot, and you make very good articles about in this blog. Tell me which one was your favorite post there?
My favorite?
From yourself. Yeah, it's a difficult question.
I don't know that I have a single favorite post. My favorite type of post to write are the ones that connect the gods and the goddesses with the people, that like the one about Rhea or the one about Poseidaya, who is our ocean goddess. I like feeling like I'm introducing the gods and goddesses back into the world, because these are deities that have been kind of hidden for a long time. Okay. And I mean, I haven't discovered them on my own by any means. This has been a group effort. Our entire group worked on these things together. But I feel like maybe we're opening a door for the Minoan deities to step back out into the modern world. And so anything that I write that kind of does that, that makes the connection between the ancient world and the modern world.
Yeah. Thank you for response. So now my favorite question here. How are you doing?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Now my favorite question here. How are you doing? How are you?
I'm about as well as could be expected in the middle of a pandemic.
Exactly.
There are ways in which my life hasn't changed a whole lot. I already worked from home before any of this started, but I can feel the weight of it. Like, it's really nice to talk to you. I'm talking to someone who's not wearing a mask while I'm not wearing a mask. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I worry about not just what the disease is doing, but about all of the problems that it's exposing in our society, and what, if anything, we're going to do about those. I have friends who have had the disease.
Okay.
A couple of them didn't make it. It's some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And so the world is a lot heavier than it was a few months ago.
Exactly. That is the word. Feels strange. This feels very strange. This feels like it's a new world, and we have so many years here. We have all the life here, but now we feel like we don't know the world. This is a pretty strange sensation in the streets, in everywhere.
Yeah, it's new territory.
Exactly.
We're having
very strange. When you go out, I am in New York. Mm-hmm. But I come from South America. Probably you know, Latin people, we are very, very, very kind. We are hugging. We like speak a lot. I am very speaker. Probably you know that. And we are very close between neighbors, between family. For Latin people, the neighbor is like your cousin, it's like your uncle, it's like your best friend. And when you come from there to the United States, people here is very kind, but it's a little more formal. It's a little less close in some ways. It's more formality. But now with this situation, this feel like it's a very cold place. I'm now in New York City, that is in the center of this in this moment.
Right.
And when you go out, you see the people, and it's pretty strange because 2 years ago, you see the people in the street, all the people working with the smartphone in the hand, nobody's seeing around, all the people working, taking selfies around the street. And now when you go out, all the people is trying to keep the time, nobody have the headphone, the smartphone in the hand, all the people with the mask, nobody speak, the people trying to keep a distance, and it's like, wow, what happened with the world in this moment? It's very strange. How is for you in this moment in Atlanta, where you are?
Well, I'm in the South, the American South, and we are also big huggers. It's part of the culture, and that it does feel very alien, because you can't make small talk with people. Like when I go shopping, I'm used to chatting with people.
Yeah.
This is a very friendly part of the country, and you can't do that. If you're wearing a mask, you have to shout so that anyone can understand you, and trying to keep your distance from people. It's uncomfortable, and I can feel the tension. Every time I go out, everyone's trying to be careful. Nobody wants to endanger anyone else, but they still need to get their things done. And it's very stressful.
You tell me something that is very true. When I come from my country, I was looking where I don't know how come to the United States for the first time. So I was coming to New York City. Mm-hmm. But the people, when I was buying my ticket, they say, don't go directly to New York City because the airport can be complicated and you don't speak very good English. Well, in this moment, I don't speak very good English. In that moment, 5 years ago, was worse. It was totally worse. In that moment, I just say hi and please, just that. And they say that the iPod can be very, very complicated, but also the New Yorkers, these kind of people, they are very, they are in their own life. They can be a little bit rush. They don't take the time to support you, to telling you, hey, this is the direction, it's from here, from where you are. The New Yorkers, they are very fast in their life. So when you travel to United States, go to Atlanta, because in Atlanta, like you say, make the transfer there because the people in Atlanta, they are very nice, they are very kind, they are very generous. And they say, if you go directly to New York City, you will be very lost in the first moment that you put a feet in there. Go to Atlanta, and in Atlanta, try to take the next travel to New York City, because the Atlanta people is more kind in a lot of ways. When I was coming, I don't know, in the United States, and I was like, I don't know how is the people, and it's very true. The airport in Atlanta is like a spaceship. It's gorgeous, but also you feel a little intimidated. And it's so big, it's so amazing, and it's so technological at the same time. You have a train in the airport. I was totally lost, and I don't speak English in that moment. But I remember the people around look at me. I was with my mom, and I was like, I think that I was starting to cry at that moment, probably, knowing me, probably. And I remember the people come to me like, where do you come from? Where are you looking? I was like, Venezuela, looking New York, like a monkey. And they was like, okay, take this train, 3 steps, after that you go to the right. And it was like, okay, the people is very nice here. And it's true, it's like you said, the people is very kind. When I come to New York, it was pretty different. Oh, where is the park? I don't know. Look for you. Thank you. It's like you say. So, Laura, what are you doing in home for take this time? What are you doing with all this time? We have a new revision of your book very soon, but also what are you doing in your time? You meditate, you make workout, you eat something.
Well, it's springtime, and I live in the suburbs, so I have a big yard and a vegetable garden, and that's what my time is spent on every year this time of year. So I'll send you some tomatoes.
That is pretty nice.
But yeah, I grew up on a farm, and okay. I have to have my garden every year. And I think it's especially important now. I'm kind of concerned about food security with everything that's going on. So, yeah, I mean, we made the garden even bigger this year than we normally do. So
that is pretty nice, and I feel a little jealous in this moment. Sounds pretty nice, really. I like the idea. I don't have the space to have a garden now.
Yeah.
But sounds amazing, because this keeps you busy in a lot of ways. So, probably someone asked you this before, but it's the first time that I had the opportunity to speak directly with you, so I need to ask. How was that you feel so focused in the Minoan mythology? How did it start? How was your encounter with this? How would you find this path for you?
Well, I was in high school, and I had to take an art history class. And the teacher had us turning the pages in the book, and they had these color pictures of all kinds of art. And I turned the page to a picture of the Bull Leapers fresco from Knossos. Okay. And I got goosebumps. It gave me chills. It felt so familiar. And so I started digging and trying to find out everything I could about the Minoans. And this was long enough ago that there was no internet. Yeah. I had to look in the encyclopedias in the school library, and there wasn't a whole lot of information. And I kept at it until finally in the 1990s there were some books published, and I read those, and then the internet bloomed, and
Okay.
so then I had more access. But it was always it's always been just kind of in the back of my mind from that moment in that art history class that I just it kind of became an obsession eventually, I guess.
Yeah, and it's very beautiful, not just in a superficial way. It's beautiful because it's ancient, and when you read about, because I read a lot of your material, you found that these people was so spiritual in some ways, but also they was like a very good civilization. They was this kind of people who help each other in any situation. But history don't teach us too much about, because apparently Greek mythology for people can be a little more commercial in some ways. And but Minoan, I think that is ancient, correct?
It's what?
Ancient, old.
Oh, yes.
Than Greek mythology.
Yeah, it's the Minoans lived about 1,000 years before what we think of as classical Greek mythology. Okay. That classical Greek culture, yeah.
Wow. You practice meditation at home?
I do. I do breath work. I do ecstatic postures, which are poses that you hold while you're doing trance. My favorite, though, is moving meditation. I like to go walk in the woods.
This is better, and it's healthy.
Yeah, it keeps me sane.
Exactly. We need that. We need that in this moment.
Yeah.
You practice, or you share some kind of praying from your personal practice. You pray to your gods, or you have a distance relation with them.
No, I have a close relationship with them. I like to put it in these terms. I feel like we are their relatives.
Okay.
In some form. Like maybe they are our elders and more advanced and wise than us, but I think we're still related somehow. I don't feel like there's a huge gap between us and them. And so when I talk to them, it's respectful, obviously, but to me it feels more like a conversation rather than any kind of, begging or anything like that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty modern, but I share the same way to think, because I remember my grandma telling me, when you're praying, never beg for things. Never give this sadness appearance of you. Try, because you have very strong relation with them, and your gods are the same gods of your ancestors. They are very close to you. So don't waste your time begging, because you don't need to beg. Probably you think that you need to beg, but you don't need it. You just try to speak with them, trying to share with them respectfully, and don't go to them just when you need it. Try to stay with them every time. And that is pretty important.
Yeah.
Laura, if I am interested, or someone watching this are interested in online classes with you, in workshops or something with you, or in be part of your group, how they can find you?
Well, the group is Ariadne's Tribe on Facebook. And it's easy to find. You can just search it on Facebook. And the goddess is Ariadne, Ariadne. Let's see. I just finished. I teach 2 online classes, one in the spring and one in the fall. And the spring one just finished.
Okay.
So I won't have another one until September.
Okay, in September. Very close to your new book.
Yeah, but
That's nice.
But yeah, so that one, the information is on my website, and there's a link in my bio to my website. Yeah, I love teaching the classes, but I only do each one once a year because otherwise it just takes over my whole life. And I need to hold on to the tiny shred of sanity that I still have left. So
I imagine that. I don't try to take the information because for that it's the classes. But what kind of things you teach the people in your classes? What kind of information you give?
Well, they're about developing a personal relationship with the Minoan gods and goddesses. Modern Minoan paganism has some formal things that we do, standard ritual format and things like that. But mostly it's about developing a relationship with the deities in the modern world. And so what the classes do is take you through a series of storytelling, modern myths, and meditations so that you can work out for yourself what your relationship is with the gods and goddesses and how to add that into your life.
Thank you for that. Laura, do you want to share something else with the people here?
Something else.
Wherever you want to share.
Okay. The most important thing for me has always been to be true to myself. And sometimes that's really, really hard. We have so much pressure from society to be certain kinds of people, to present ourselves in certain ways, even in the pagan community.
Yeah.
And if I could say anything to anyone, it would be figure out who you really are and then walk that walk. Because that is the most valuable thing that you can give to the world is being your true self. And that's more powerful than anything else that anybody can do.
That is 100% true. It's a lot of pressure here in the community. I think that in every community is a lot of pressure because in every community that you found out there, always some people try to figure out, try to shine more than the others. And in this community is the same. We have a lot of people just trying to look, and other people is really trying to find something, trying to working for something, trying to find wisdom, trying to find a family, trying to find a place where they feel comfortable and secure. But it's complicated when you have so many people just trying to look nice, but just looking the same. And that is complicated. But with the time, I think we start to learn how differentiate between the people who is good people, really doing good, and who is people just trying to look like they are doing good. With the time, we start to knowing that.
Yeah.
But this takes you time, and this not just time, take time and a lot of experience, bad experience in the process, but it's necessary because it's like all in life.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura, for give us your time because I know you are a very busy person. You are artist, you are author, you are blogger, you are amazing, you are incredible, and also you are smart, wife, and beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Thank you for giving us your time. I am waiting for your new book that comes very soon in the fall. And you have online classes for the people who see this. Go to the profile of my friend Laura. She's amazing. And I'm totally sure that you will love her profile because she's very honest, but also she's very wise. She's very smart. And she has a very well structured path for herself. And she are taking the time to share her knowledge and experience with the people who are looking for. So please go to the profile of my friend, Laura, here, and love her. Because she's easy to love. She's amazing.
Aww.
Thank you, Laura. You're
you.
incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.